HaKadosh Erev Tov. Yeah, good evening. Amar Rav Katina, says Rav Katina, we're doing Chazara on Masechet Taanit. Zayin Mubet, 7b. When we were doing the Chazara says, Amar Rav Katina says, Geshamim are going to be annulled because people do not learn Torah. Yeah, when people come, Shalom, bye, there's always excuses, but they're not going to learn Torah. So he comes and he says, it stops the rain. Shneimar, it says in the Pasuk, Ba'asaltaim yimacha mekare. What does that mean? Be'aslanut. Right? So the simple explanation is Be'aslanut. When a person's lazy, the ceiling will cave in because he's not going to fix the patches in the roof. And then from a leak over here, leak there, boom. Right? It comes in the entire thing. However, though, here, the way that they're explaining it is Ba'asaltaim. Bishvil, that's what it says. Bishvil atzlut shaya b'Yisrael. Because the atzlut, because when people are going to be lazy, shelo asku b'Torah, that they were not osek b'Torah, na'asa sono shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu mach. The enemy of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to become mach. What does it mean, mach? Yeah, what does it mean, mach? Ba'atzaltayim. Where it says ba'atzaltayim. Yeah, right? It's right there. I see the word. Yeah, so he says, what does that mean? Ba'atzaltayim mach. Ve'en mach elani. What is a mach? Mach is aniyut. Shneimar v'mach umer kecha. If he's too poor, right? Yes, in chaf, no in chet. Right? From the value. Yeah? Ve'en mekare ela kadosh baruch hu. What is the mekare? HaKadosh baruch hu. Shneimar amkare b'amayim aliyotav. We are going to be reading that on Thursday night. Yeah? What does that mean? When HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to come and he's going to bring the waters from the Bab, that is in the Barechi Nafshi, which we read on Rosh Chodesh. Barechi Nafshi, Perekuf Dalet. Right? Rav Yosef Amar. Rav Yosef Amar says, Mehacha. So it means we brought a pasuk from Ba'atzal Taimimacha Mekare that what? That if you don't learn Torah, it's not going to rain. There's another pasuk. Rav Yosef says, Mehacha from over here. It says in Yov, Ve'ata lo re'u or. Now you're not going to see light. What does that mean? Bahiru b'shechakim v'ruach avra v'tetarem. What does that mean? It's very clear in the skies, and it will come a ruach and will purify. What does that mean exactly? What is this entire pasuk? Ve'en or ela Torah. We know that the or, right, is the Torah. Kinyan mitzvah v'Torah or. Right? The Torah is the light. The Torah illuminates a person's life. The Torah comes and it puts life in a person. It puts light in a person. It changes the person. That is the Torah. Yeah? Bahir. What does it mean now, Bahir? Bahiru b'shechakim. Tana dever Rabbi Ishmael, we learned in the Academy of Rabbi Ishmael. Afilu b'sha'a. Even in the time, Sherakia nasa behorin. Even if right now the rakia, the firmament is going to be like patches, like the baheret, which means like the patches in the leprosy, which is going to be beharot in the skin, which means there's a whole bunch of different types of clouds in the firmament. Leorid talumatar ruach avera v'tetarem. What does that mean? A ruach will come and will take it away. Why? Because of bitul Torah. If there's no or, there's no rain. Nada. No rain. No or, no rain. That's what the Gemara says. So that is the first Gemara to do with Geshamim Netzarim Biglal bitul Torah. Next, Amar Rabbi Ami, says Rabbi Ami, Ena Geshamim Netzarim and Abavon Gazel. It says over here, right? When is it that there's not going to be any rain? Because of the sin of stealing. Shneimar, but says in a pasuk, al kapayim kisa or. On the palms, it will cover or. Now here we're referring to that or is not Torah, but rather Geshem. That means or is rain, right? What does that mean? Ba'avon kapayim, that means because like ba'avur, like bishvil, right? That means the al kapayim, the al is not on top, but rather for. So for the kapayim, because of the kapayim, that's what ba'avur, because of the kapayim, kisa or. HaKadosh Baruch Hu stopped the or. So ba'avon kapayim kisa or. Ve'en kapayim el Hamas. Kapayim is Hamas. How do we know kapayim is Hamas? Shneemaru mine Hamas asher bechapeim. Because of the Hamas which is going to be in their palms. Ve'en or ela matar. Now, how do we know that or is matar? Matar is rain. He says, Shneimar yafitz anan oro. The malach is going to come and he's going to spread the anans, which are the clouds, right, of the Gishmei HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So you see from here that or is actually a euphemism for rain. Because it says, Yafitz anan oro. The anan will come and spread out its rain. Right? It's not, the anan is not going to spread out the Torah. So here oro obviously refers to the rain. So you see from here that if it's not going to, if a person does not come and they're not going to, what exactly is a takana? What does that mean? We want rain. And we need rain. So what's the takana? How are you going to do it? So it says, you know how? Yarbe betfilah. What does that mean? You should be marbe tefillah. Shneimar, it says in the pasuk, vaytzav alea b'mavgia. What does that mean? That because if a person is going to come and he's going to be mitpalel, HaKadosh Baruch Hu's vaytzav alea. He's going to command upon the rain to come down. Ve'en pegia ela tefillah. What is pegia? Pegia is tefillah. Shneimar ve'ata al titpalel be'adam hazeh ve'al tifka bi. What does that mean? You see from here, the lashon is for pegia, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling Yirmiyahu that he shouldn't pray for Be'ad Anshe Yehuda, because since they're Ovdim Avodat Zarah, he's not going to listen to the tefillah. So therefore he says, Al tifka bi, don't start praying to me. Ve'amar Rabbi Ami. Right? So now this is the new Gemara. There's the Gemara. We're starting the new Gemara. Ve'amar Rabbi Ami, says Rabbi Ami. My dichtiv, what does it mean in the pasuk? What does it mean in keha habarzel vehu lo panim kilkal? What does that mean? The literal translation is that even if the barzel, even if the iron is keha means, right, like it's not sharp, meaning even if the iron is blunt, I think they say in English, right? Dull or blunt, yeah? So then what happens? And it's not mavrik, it's not shining, it's not, like nechoshet kalal. Still, they still have the power of the barzel. They still have the power if they go to war, right? However, though the ma'alav, the chokhmah, and what it helps is even more than the barzel, because alidei chacham, that he's learning Torah, he's going to make that a lot of people are going to strengthen themselves in the war. So it comes out that learning the Torah, chokhmah, is even greater than the swords in the war. That's what the Gemara is basically simple explanation saying. But now we're going to make a drasha from this pasuk. The pasuk says, Imra'ita rakia shekeha kabarzel. If you see that the firmament, right, that the shamayim is going to be weakened like an iron, right? That means it's not sharp. Mileorid talumatar, that it's not bringing down rain. Bishvil ma'aseh ador shemekulkalim. It's because of the ma'aseh ador that they are mekulkalim. That's why it says ulo panim kilkal. Because of the mekulkal. Mekulkal, you know what mekulkal is? People, they're not, it's not good. Their actions are not good. Okay?
Like Barzel. Barzel is very strong.
My takanatan, what is the takana? Itgabru berachamim, again the exact same thing. You want a takana? Pray. Itgabru berachamim, you have to strengthen yourself with mercy, with tefillah. Yeah, so sometimes the Gemara actually calls tefillah rachamim, as the Gemara in Babbat Rakuk of Gimel. Right? Right? And that's what we actually spoke about on Leil Shabbat. If you remember, the Unkelus, Yonatan and Oziel went and he said that the Benot Slovcha, they went and they prayed to HaKadosh Baruch Hu berachameh. Berachameh means they went and they prayed with rachamim. Rachamim is tefillah. When you come and you're going to pray with rachamim, you're praying. So he says, Yitgabru berachamim, because beforehand we just said Yidubu b'tefillah. Now we're saying Yitgabru berachamim. But it's the exact same thing. Rachamim is tefillah. Shneimar, but it says in a pasuk, v'yitron hechsher chokhmah, to teach you what does that mean that there's going to be even much better when you have chokhmah. Kol sheken im ukshiru ma'aseh mikara, which means if they were zakaim from the beginning and they never ruined their own actions, they wouldn't need such a tefillah, right? They wouldn't need tefillah to be mbatel the stopping of the rain. So then you do geshamim rabbim. So therefore it says yitron means that there's more rain that would come down through chayalim yegabeh, which means through hechsher chokhmah, which means that if they were machshir, their actions, if they would come and they would make that their actions are going to be good, they would have tons of rain. Okay, they would have tons of rain. Fine. Next, Resh Lakish says, Imra'ita talmid Shelimudo kashe alav kabarzel. What happens if you say, right, if you see a Talmid? Yeah, and what happens is that when you see this Talmid, right, you come and you realize, right, that what happens? That, right, is limudo is kashe, kabarzel. What does that mean? He's not learning, right? He's got a lot of questions. He's got a lot of questions. Yeah? No, the Gemara doesn't say that. Yeah? So says the Gemara, can I please read the Gemara? Yeah? Bishvil mishnato she'ena sidura alav. You know why the Gemara is difficult for him? Because he doesn't know the basics. He doesn't know Mishnah. It's not Mishnah Sidura lo. He doesn't have Kinyan Masechta. If a person doesn't know the Gemara in front of him, right, he can't come now and start asking questions. First know the Aleph Bet. After you know Aleph Bet, now come and ask questions. That's why I always say that many times, right, we jump to ask questions. You understand? We come and we're all, one second. First, do you have everything clear? Do you have A, B, C, D? If you have everything clear, right, now you could start thinking, yes, no, one second, is it clear? Why? Because if you do not have Mishnato Serura Lav, there's nothing what you could do. Obviously, he's going to have a lot of questions, right? And that's what the Gemara is actually saying. Yeah? Shneemar, it says in the Pasuk, Vehu lo fanim kilkal. What does that mean? Vehu lo, he's not going to have atzlacha. Why? Panim kilkal, because he's mikalkel b'limud. Right? Why? Because of the Shia Panim, that's the understanding, that's the opening, that's the face of the learning the Gemara. So one second, so Ma'ita Kante, so what do you want? Right? How's he going to fix it? Answers the Gemara, Yarbe Shiva. Sit down and learn. Keep learning. You know what that means? Go learn. When you start learning Kinyan Masechta, then what happens? You start remembering. And you start saying 1 second, but this is that. And now you understand why this is not a stira, why this is a stira, why there is a question, not a question. Where am I not? What is that referring to? Where is that not referring to? Why? Because when a person comes and they learn it properly, it's Mishnato Sedura Alav, so it's very Misudar. There's no questions. You come, perfect. The Yitronik Shir Chochma, Shneimad, then he says, what does that mean? You start learning with a lot of the kvutzot, with all the groups and everything. You come, you sit down, you learn. Imagine right now if it was already misudar for you at the beginning. If it was misudar at the beginning, right? And then all of a sudden it's going to become even more. So in the Kal Vachomer, all the more so, right? Yitron is all the more so, right? Yoter, right? So he comes and he says, so then all the more so. He had Resh Lakish, because just like Resh Lakish, Hava mesader matnite 40 zimnin. Says Rav Mordechai just mentioned it before. Resh Lakish, when he used to learn, he used to be mesader it to himself 40 times. Keneged 40 yom shenitna Torah. In order to come for the 40, right? For the 40 days that the Torah was given. Yeah? And after learning it 40 times, he came in front of Rabbi Yochanan. Yeah? So imagine, before going to Rabbi Yochanan and learning, he first used to do 40 times. You know what that is? That means before you guys even come here, you're going to start learning it 40 times. Then you come into class. Then you come into yeah, just like and he says, 40 times he used to learn, and then he used to come to Rabbi Yochanan. And then Ravada Bar Abba, he used to be Mesader Matnite 24 zimnin. 24. Why? Keneged Torah Nevi'im Ktuvim. Keneged the Tanakh. Vaylekameh Rava. And then he used to come, the 24 books, the Tanakh. You know what Tanakh is? Torah Nevi'im Ktuvim. Tanakh. Right? Very good. Vaylekameh Rava. And then he used to come in front of Rava. So by the way, this is where the Maharsha is where it speaks about. This is the Gemara Masechet Taanit Chet Amud Aleph. Remember this, that this is where the Maharsha speaks about the entire concept, right, of how many times are you supposed to learn. The Maharsha actually said, "Behai katama de Moshe nami sidran beotan mem yom ulchol apachot pamacha bechol yom." He says, I understand the 40 times because when Moshe Rabbeinu went and he was 40 days, right, in the Shemaim, so he learned it once a day. So that's 40 times, so 40 days. But he says, but according to the pshat of the Tanakh, which is again Torah Nevi'im Ktuvim 24 books, I don't have a very good explanation. Okay, that's what he comes and he says. the Iyun Yaakov though comes and he says that there is a remez in Tehillim Ayin Daled where it says there Al Yashuv Dach Nichlam, which means that somebody that's Chozer al Mishnato Kinyan Dach, which is Kaf Daled, by 24 Al Yashuv Nichlam Bevet Midrash. She will not be Dach in Kaf. Yes, Hatzofi. Yeah, so that's what he comes and he says. No, so here I remember it. I remember it from it's a Maharsha. Then I think in Moed Katan.